I gave away my copy of this game. I kept the box and the manual. My childhood copy. I'm probably gonna rebuy it someday. There was some black marker. It was a rental cart. I was lucky enough to get the box and the manual with it. The toy line was pretty awesome too. I remember I only had the octopus. It's always about the classics, as far as I'm concerned. It's also about quality. If something is not old school, but it definitely needs to have some sort of, like, to resonate with it. Not just that, like, people that grew up with are familiar with this game, but not everybody, not every gamers I know, like, love this game and cherish it. But it's a classic. I don't remember if it was all, like, issued in the Nintendo Power magazine. Probably, but there's like a ton of them. I gave away some, I kept 2. I have the Battletoads one and the Metal Storm one. Those are the only 2 that I got, and the cards are not in it. And which other? Oh, the posters in the middle, I don't think they're there also. But they're pretty minty, which is what I like. I don't know if some issued, like, didn't have the cards or the posters. I think the posters were in every single one of them. And people, like, their first instinct was to remove them and, like, put them on a wall. I was a little different. If I did remove it, it wasn't to put them on the wall. It was to store them in, like, a plastic sheet in a binder for later. But I did have one on my wall. I remember the Iron Sword or Wizards and Warriors one with the Willow map on the back. I had that on my wall since I was like, I was probably around like 7. I had it like at least a year. Oh, I remember having the Quattro Adventure mini poster also on one of my walls. I had it for a while there. My aunt gave it to me. She was a big collector too. And I don't know where it went. I lost it, I guess. They were the Codemasters Camerica company. I always liked CG and the Elephant Antic. That wasn't on the Quattro Adventure. That was with Super Robin Hood, and I think, I'm not sure if Linus was on that. There's 2 different versions of Linus on the NES. The one on Quattro Adventure, the one that you start in the bottom of the sea with your ship crash, and you have to climb on the bubbles. And then level 2 is called Life's a Beach. And then the other one, a single game, which is the one that kind of feels like a Simpsons game that you navigate through like a town. It was a little more obscure. what else was on that Quattro adventure game? It was Super... Oh, it was Boomerang Kid. Super Robin Hood. I think Linus was on it. And there was another one that I just can't remember. The Elephant Antic was on Quattro Arcade with Micro Machine. Or Micro Machine was on Quattro Sport, I think. That too, there's two different versions of that game on the NES. There's the multi-cart one and the single. They're different. If I could remember the fourth game on Quattro Adventure, I would be, without checking, I would feel good. Couldn't keep my fourth life, or fifth life. Not concentrating. Yeah, this guy looks like a frozen mud monster, or like Glacius from Killer Instinct. The show also that aired on the Saturday night cartoon, there's only one pilot, like one episode. It's pretty decent. It's kind of like, it's kind of similar to Mighty Max, like not really, but or Toxic Crusaders, stuff like that. Those old cartoons that are very they're very, I wouldn't say nostalgic, but they're very classic. So much stuff. I still got a few of my Mighty Max. I don't have the Turtles ones that I had a while. Like a town with like Leonardo's sword, and there was also like the play sets. They were all play sets really, like Mighty Max or Polly Pockets. But I had one also, it was like a baseball Ed Raphael. It had a red bandana. It was a head, you could open it, and it was like a Mighty Max. I think I have like 7 or 8 Mighty Max right now. It's not a lot, but I think I have the Mountain, I have one of the Golem, and I have like a mini one, and I have like 6 normal size ones that I really cherish. I got the pterodactyl, like like a wild tiger, like a were tiger. It's kind of brown with like a bruised eye. And I got the Cyclops also, and can't remember the other ones, like 2 more. I remember my little cousin, he's like a distant cousin, came to visit, and he was so like overwhelmed just by that. He never saw that before. His dad didn't have any, and he was like, "Are those for sale? Like, can I buy them?" Like, he wanted to offer like eBay price, like $20 each or something, because they have money. But I was like, really minty. They're not in the package, but they're really minty, and they're my personal like not copy of that, but my personal like I wouldn't like give them for free for sure. $20 was fair enough, but because I gave all my GI Joes, I gave all my Micro Machines, I gave all my systems, my SNES, my NES, my GameCube, my N64, my PS2. I traded for like a bunch of magic cards to my friend who didn't have much. He was like in a tough spot. My best friend at the time was older than me. Like, he took my Game Boy Advance SP and he pawned it like a silver suitcase kind of thing. It was like a set that my mom got me for Christmas one year. That year that I had Fire Emblem Sacred Stone. And he just pawned it and he was like, dude, I'm sorry. He did the same thing with shirts, like metal shirts that I had. He like took my shirts, went to work with them, like a pizza shop or something, and he got home like with my shirt all like damaged. They were brand new, like $25, like $30 shirt, really. Same guy, and then like he did that to my Game Boy Advance SP2 with like a ton of games. All my games except like a few. I'm glad I kept my Pokemon here. And then he just said sorry. And he gave me like a handful of used PS2 games, which were not bad games I may add. Like Dragon Quest 8 and my controller is silly right now with double jump. Like it's a good controller. I'm sure it's not starting to not respond well. Something like try to double jump. Maybe it's because I have creams on my hand. I think it is. Yeah, I always put cream on my face. Anyway, that was a story about my toys and my systems and all my shirts. I gave them all to everybody, just like that. And I just started wearing like blank shirts and button shirts also. I started being more like classy and grown up, I suppose. Not really, but I didn't really like having shirts with logos on them anymore. My toys, though, I can't get rid of them though. Like my collections of everything that I got, they're very, very important. I'm really attached to them. Like the clothes that I have right now. Like I have a Game of Thrones. He's still doing it. I have a Mortal Kombat shirt and a Game of Thrones shirt and a Walking Dead shirt. And the rest are all like long sleeves. Some have buttons, some don't. I have a lot of games though. Just not the systems. I couldn't get like I gave a lot of games also to my brother, but I didn't. He just sold them all. But so I'm a laptop guy, but I'm a console gamer. I really love laptops. And I am a console gamer by nature though. So what I have left is like my original, not childhood NES, but I have my NES, and I have a PlayStation 1 given to me by my mom, and there's a Nintendo 64 in the basement that my bro gave to me that I gave him back. I don't have that many N64 games, so I have a lot of stuff for the Nintendo 64 though. Like a bin full, like a lot of stuff, like 6 controllers, like 7 memory cards, like trimmer packs, all the plugs, like double, triple, even auxiliaries are like used for SNES, GameCube, and Nintendo 64. I have a ton like those, obviously. I have RC cables. I have like 4 of those for NES. I have the auxiliaries exclusive for the NES also. I can use either one that I want. RC cable or the auxiliary. And I got a joystick also that I made like a not that good deal with my friend. The joystick is pretty interesting. It's a common joystick. I don't got a zapper. I never believed in them. I like them though. I never really cared for them. I like what it's for though, the light guns and the zapper and the justifier and the ones on the Wii and everything. I like those. They're cool, but I'm more of a controller person, not a like. I like the joysticks though because it's kind of like playing arcade with 8-bit ports, which is cool. I don't know if it exists for the SNES, like a joystick for the SNES. I would check that because now everything's being invented for stuff that's like third party or so these are basically based on the Universal monsters. I have a lot of books also, like horror books, like Goosebumps and stuff like monsters, Dracula, Frankenstein, all that stuff. I collect them. Disney stuff also. My Legos. Oh my god. Never get started on my Legos. I don't have a ton of Legos, but I have a lot of minifigures, like a lot of accessories, like my toys, also my action figures. I got like a box full and like a big bag, like a really big bag of only accessories that it's probably worth like a crazy amount of money, not gonna lie. Every single one are probably worth like 25 bucks, and I've got like at least like 800 like accessories for action figures, like random. I never read my books, but I like having them. I don't got many Goosebumps. I have more like it's a Canadian series that we ordered through. It was like ordering books. It was from school. Some ordered like Archie, some ordered like Kid Paddle or Goosebumps. I ordered those, like they're black, a black spine. They're called Frisson. It's Shiver, but they're not the same as the Shivers that they sold at the Dollarama. Those, I got all those also. I never read one. I started reading one and I was like, it's fun to read, but I prefer like drawing, watching TV. I was big into music back in the day, but I'm not that much anymore. I stopped like caring really. So if someone mentions music, I'm gonna like, get along, but it's not something that it's not really like my priority as far as like conversation wise or a pet peeve or like a passion. It kind of used to be. I did some music and stuff, but I kind of stopped. What I did stop, that was my main passion, was to make video games. Like, I think about it from time to time, but it's kind of tied with playing video games. So it's like, if I play video games, I'm content. I don't need to make video games to feel like accomplished or happy. I should have attacked him twice. I guess I'm gonna play a few NES games. Like, I always try to get around playing a few that, like, the ones that I really like. It's rare that I would play something that just to like make fun of or something. It's not really my style. If I play something, most of the time I never beat it. I just play it arcade style, and sometimes I don't even use all the continues. But I do take a second to like set the continues and how many lives and stuff before I start. So far I've only beaten 2 games live, and one hasn't been recorded since I didn't do VODs yet. And the one that has been recorded a little is Symphony of the Night, and all the parts are not there because I didn't record yet also. So you just get like a tease, really. I don't got every single items, but I made sure that I get everything I could, and also I was eager to unlock the richer mode. I also got the act with Maria, but I would have to replay it like completely. A pretty fun game. I got far into it back in the day, but I didn't like get through. And yeah, the other one was before. It was Final Fantasy II Japan. I played that. Like, it was the first game that I streamed a few months ago. I streamed without recording. I was playing Final Fantasy 1 before that, just a little before I started streaming. That's what I was playing, in Final Fantasy Tactics and Final Fantasy 9 also. And Resident Evil off stream also. Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, because I do speed run that game since like a good amount of years. I don't know about the remakes. They're pretty cool, but they seem kind of short, honestly. Resident Evil 7 seems more long, and like it's a first-person shooter, but pretty interesting game with the gore and everything, the chainsaws, and it's like as soon as the VR started being a thing, like I kind of stepped back. You can choose if you want to play VR or not. The only VR game that I really tried was Rick and Morty, and I was like amazed. It's pretty decent, like it's pretty cool. It's just something that I'm not really into, like putting my face in something, getting a headache. It scares me kind of. I don't want to like honestly, I could get headache just from playing a game. So imagine if I wanna play VR like a whole day or something, or like a few days, or even an hour or two. Like, I remember my friend came here and she brought her VR and she asked me if I wanted to try, and I didn't lie, but I just didn't want to try it really. I'm glad that I tried it before. It's just not something that I put money in or time. It's pretty decent though, not gonna lie. Because there's so many games, like they're interesting. It's like browsing through like a specific systems library, PS5 or something, or the Wii U, or even like the GameCube or Sega Saturn, PS3. The Japanese exclusive also, like for SNES, NES, PS1. Will I beat Warlock? It's exciting. I remember like back in the day it was when like you played Mega Man 2 or something as a kid, then you couldn't get past Quick Man's level or Heat Man's level. You didn't know that you needed the number 2, the jet, to cross the lava if you couldn't get on disappearing blocks. It's still hard to do to this day, but I can do it. But Quick Man's level though, like it's one of my favorites. Like I mastered it a long time ago. I could still do it and die, but it would be some sort of like a glitch on your behalf, because you're not supposed to die if you're confident, and it wouldn't use flash also. The flash is similar to like I think Centaur Man and Bright Man from Mega Man 4. His weapon is kind of cool. Can't shoot while you use flash. I remember back in the day, like it was so, I don't know what it was like. It was so imaginative, and it just was like art staying in place. Like it's you just like, it was a while before Pokemon was invented. It was the golden age of old school, best, badass, most awesome video games ever. Past Atari. I like collection, like compilation discs, because they're cool. You can like play them a little bit and try like, it's like more easy for you to navigate through some of those old school, like not just Pac-Man, but some of those like Defender, Galaga. But NES is like, it's where it's at. And some people grew up with Atari ST and what else, like the Vectrex, Commodore 64, the Intellivision, ColecoVision, the Master System. I didn't grow up with that. Double Dragon 1 multiplayer, that would have been nice. Mega Man on DOS. Like DOS was pretty awesome, dude. Spring-Heeled Jack. He's inspired by... Oh, actually, no. He's actually a real figure, like... I wouldn't say he existed, but Spring-Heeled Jack was actually like a... Not a cryptid, but... something about it, like what is it called? cryptid, like with the wings, the Batman or something like that. Is it what it is? Batman. This guy looks like Bigfoot. The Montauk Monster. The Loch Ness Monster. Then there was Pokemon. Dragonite. Charmander. Charmander! Squirtle! Bulbasaur! Don't ask me to do Pikachu. I started liking Ash recently, like when I started watching Pokemon recently. Speaking of which, I bought Yu-Gi-Oh cards earlier. I was more like a Red fan. As soon as I started like realizing Red is not, I think, I'm not sure if he's in the cartoon, the anime, but it's Gary. Gary is arch nemesis, not Red. And then starting from Pokemon Gold and Silver, Pokemon Johto, I think it's called. There's Blue. I like the hack, the leaf green, fire red, but the blue one, ultimate blue, I think it's called. And yellow recharged. It will definitely be strange to have my camera in the corner somewhere there. Sometimes I do look at my own stream 2 seconds. That's how I know if the voice is like overshadowed by the audio, or if both are too low, because it's pretty tedious. You gotta I was doing something yesterday with the DS emulator that like I was setting one game individually, the sound to be a little lower than all the other games. And I did it like over and over, like 4 times, to see if it would actually do, if I overrided something, if like when I did all the games, not just one single game that I had an issue with, if it would like reset, but it didn't. So I'm like, nice, there's one that's lower than all the others, because I had an experience that I knew that my voice was too low. Konami rules, like, for real. It's undeniable. Konami is... We always say Capcom first, Konami second, but for real, Konami, like, when it's due, like, honestly, they did so many freaking amazing games and cards and everything, toys. Probably shows also, like the Suikoden, Metal Gear, TMNT, Castlevania, this. Yu-Gi-Oh! I already said it, yeah. Yu-Gi-Oh! Was like... Oh, like it's Yu-Gi-Oh! I mean, oh, it's Konami? Like, kinda new, but I didn't, like... Back in the day, I didn't really notice that. As a little kid. Dang. Well, Metal Gear and TMNT is a big one also. This is more like a little gem, but Capcom, let's not get me started with Capcom though. And Square is a powerhouse. It's a given. Same with Namco and both Square and Capcom worked on Breath of Fire 1, which is kind of cool. This Breath of Fire 2, 3, and 4 is all Capcom. Dragon Quarter. And I'm not sure about 6 though on iOS. I don't know what happened to that series. For real. It was a big deal back in the day. I so love Breath of Fire, Ryu and Ray, Tipo. I'm pretty sure that I'm not like, it's safe for me to say that I'm very sensitive about that particular series. Breath of Fire 3, it was like, we like anticipated it like so much. It was 3D and we saw that. It was like, it was kind of like Lunar 2. It's also kind of like Lufia, the Runes of Lore, when we knew that we could use Decker in that game, like late in the game. It was interesting, but it's just not quite what it is. Like Lufia 1 and 2 are better. There's the Game Boy one also, Lufia. I think it's Legend, I think, or not Lufia Return. I think it's Lufia Legend. I'm not sure. 1 and 2 up there with Breath of Fire. 1, 2, 3. He looks like a Marvel character. I'm not sure who yet. Like, not Sinister, but he looks like someone. I'm not sure who. The same hair. Like Mega Man X2 when you beat Sigma's face at the end, and I'm game over. Yeah. Actually forgot about this last boss. Yeah, that's what I like when there's no continue left. I didn't feel like... What an amazing thing it was back in the day to have your first computer and like play PC games and have ROMs. I've never been a really big DuckTales NES fan. I love it. I like that there's two of them, kind of like Flintstones and Chip and Dale. I'm not sure. It's very it's iconic. I would say a lot of people are nostalgic over that game, but the Team Moon, I just prefer Darkwing Duck and Chip and Dale. I'm not a big Tailspin guy. Also, I like Little Mermaid. They're all good Capcom games, like including DuckTales 1 and 2. Some games that I always liked that I'm not gonna play again right now, cause like they take a little bit of your time, and and it's also the same with shoot 'em ups. I don't like include them in my favorite type of games, even though I really love playing them, like since always, horizontal and vertical. But it's just I just prefer not being in a jet. I prefer like being a sprite and walking and being able to jump. Like it's what I like. I like when there's like a transition also. That's awesome. Like Guardian Legend is a pretty good game. And stuff like Worm on NES and stuff like Super Jetman, I think, in Transformer, Famicom game. I was playing a cool bowling game also the other day off stream before I went for a walk. It was really fun. I just had a hard time like hitting all the pins. It was like if I played a few games, but I couldn't hit all the pins like every single time. Like it was always like one left each time. Otherwise, I would have been like, that's a pretty good game to play. I don't normally play racing games also. I would play sports games more than racing games, but I don't play sports games much. I just play the Tecmo ones, like the Dodgeball and World Cup, the Crash and the Boys Ice Challenge and Street Challenge, and I like some other ones also. I like Sammy Basketball. I like some of the baseball. Not that much of a fan though, but and the wrestling games, like I don't think they count as sports. Boxing counts more as sport. Like Punch Out is probably the all-time best sports game on the NES. Both the versions, but mostly Mike Tyson's. And the anime soccer game also, which are just like, I don't know. It's like a SimCity game on the NES, which is pretty cool. If someone didn't know about that, it was like a prototype that was dumped on the net that people could use it. Same with Mario World, and there's also a Earthbound on the NES. And it's not a Mario Kart, but that one is not that good. There's a TMNT Tournament Fighter on the NES. It's like a lesser version of the SNES one. And the Kart Fighter is like all the characters from Super Mario Kart, but in a fighting game, which is interesting to look at, but it's not too fun. Crystalis is a pretty fun game, and Time Lord, Holy Diver, Moon Crystal, and Sword Master, Castle of Dragon, I like Ultima. Just the first one though, not the other ones are okay, but they're not for me. They're okay, but they're not for me. It's not like I Lied. That's not for me, but it's not okay. It's not a good game. It's not fun at all. At least the Ultima, they're kind of fun, but it's really old school. I just like the first one. I don't know why. I grew up with it. The World Heroes 2, is that the fighting game from SNES and arcade? I doubt it. I'm gonna at least remove the... Is that it? It's wait. That's not great. But I can't press start. I would at least play a little bit. Like one of the games that I always liked was 8 Eyes, but it's so hard. Some people are good in that game. Some people speed run that game, and it's like they make it seem so easy. But it's not just about like if someone speed runs it and it looks easy. It's more like someone who doesn't speed run it can like play it, then it kind of looks like they're playing Castlevania 1 or something because they know how to play it. I didn't play it a lot, but I owned it as a kid and I always loved it. It's like a knockoff of Castlevania, but you got a sword and you're a falconer with your Kutris Falcon, which can be controlled by a second player. I'm gonna think about what I want to play. Get some tea. Not Journey to Silius, but something like maybe like Crystallis or something like Ninja Gaiden. Yeah. I'm going to go make some tea and come back, and also use the bathroom while I'm at it. I didn't think about what I wanted to play. I was thinking about games though, but Kirby is awesome. I remember owning a cart when I was young, but someone stole it from me. What a shame. What a shame. My Blaster Master too. And what else? My Flintstones 1. And a few other games also. Kirby, I only had the cart, but I didn't have the box. Same with the Blaster Master. It was back in the day there was a few options to purchase games. There was like a shop, the store that had like plastic sealed over like a cart. You couldn't see what the game would be. You just bought a game. It was like $14. I remember buying like Dr. Chaos and brought it home and played it, and it was like, I wasn't super young. It was like past when I rented games at the video rental, that after a while they were liquidating their games, and you could buy some and they had the box for them. That other store was like a Walmart or something, and you didn't see what it was also like $1 or $2. There was another shop that had games for like $2, kind of like a pawn shop, games for $5. You didn't know what the game would be. And there was like a flea market also that had games that had the boxes. I remember I almost bought like Ultima and Isolated Warrior, and I didn't buy them. And yeah, that Dr. Chaos, I returned it. I was able to, and I got I traded it for Mighty Final Fight, which was such a good game. I was happy to get that one. I still have it. It's a pretty fun beat 'em up on the NES for real. It's like what is it called? River City Ransom. Yeah, Kirby is awesome. Kirby's Adventure is a good game. Kirby Superstar is pretty fun also. Mega Drive. I really just played one NES game, but I need to sort my games in that file. It takes a lot of time. That's the thing. I was trying to do it like when I had the chance, but it was really energy consuming. Ninjutsu. The Mega Drive is really reliable as far as platformers. I also call them side-scrollers. Like, this is a typical side-scroller. It's not a Metroidvania. It's there's no like gimmicks or bullshit. It's what you want. Like, it's classic. Not just that, like, the arcade versions of most of those games that are fun like these are always so fun, like, it's crazy. It's like one of my favorite games of all time is Samurai, or franchise, is Samurai Showdown. I grew up in the arcade with those as Street Fighter. I wasn't that good back in the day. Like, I played them, I enjoyed them, but I was more like obsessed with Mega Man and stuff like that, consoles. But I was exposed to arcades as a little kid. I didn't play a lot of pinball, or I played a few like arcades and stuff. I used like quarters. Sometimes the guy would come and give us free credits and we were all happy. He bought our little chips, went swimming, ride our bicycle. Samurai Showdown was not at the camping lot where we did camping for like 16 years, maybe 15 years. It wasn't there. It was never there. It was like our personal like version. It was Street Fighter. We always had Street Fighter there with like pool tables and air hockey. Two pinballs. They were always different ones. I still have dreams like every once in a while that I'm there. Like, honestly. Not just once in a while, but regularly. I'm there and it's like, I'm really there, like vivid. And like, I don't know, it's so often, so regularly, like, I remember like Operation Wolf with the Uzi, and what else, Spin Masters, the game with like the yo-yo. It was multiplayer, and like the Metal Slug was always like a favorite of ours. Metal Slug was always like one of our favorites, but it wasn't always there. So when it was there, we knew that Metal Slug was a big deal. As far as, because back in the day, they were not called like retro. Like, they were everything. They were what we had. And now, like nowadays, we're just like continually bringing up back those games. Like, it's no secret. Like, those games are amazing. I remember when the N64 came out, also, like, such a big deal. Mario 64, and mostly the most like common ones though, like Star Fox, Diddy Kong Racing, Snowboard Kids, Mario Kart 64, the first-person shooters like Turok, Quake. I had Mischief Makers, something like South Park, I think, not the racing one, just the original one, which was not a good game. It's still cool though. I had Perfect Dark, GoldenEye, Ocarina of Time, Mario Party, Mario Golf, XN, Space Station, Silicon Valley, Castlevania, one of the two. What else I had? N64. I got Ogre Battle later. It's my favorite game on the system. I still have it. Resident Evil 2 also was cool. It was so scary back then, like playing Resident Evil 2 on the N64. For some reason, it was scary because we were kids, and we knew that we liked being scared as kids. We played like in an isolated environment, like with the lights closed and the sheets closed. And playing at night didn't make a big difference, really. It did, but what else was awesome? Yoshi's Story. My friend had it. My friend had some cool SNES games, like, as a kid. He had a few good ones. In advance. Dang. He had, like, I don't know, he had Link to the Past in French with a different cover. His mom got it for him. He had, like, when I was a little older, I started working and buying the best games so that they were all jealous. They all came over again. But before that, I had a few games, but that I bought like at a pawn shop, like Super Punch-Out, Link to the Past, Mario World, Mario All-Star, Street Fighter, Final Fantasy IV. Never got the box for Final Fantasy IV. I never owned Mystic Quest. I never really played it. I played it a little while, but I don't know. So yeah, you had Kirby Superstar, you had Final Fantasy 3 or 6. What else you had? You had Sim Hand. Yeah, I had SimCity. I was always a big SimCity guy. I'm not sure. He probably didn't have. He didn't have Earthbound, but he was the biggest Earthbound fan ever. I mean, the guy was in 3rd grade and he was already like the biggest Earthbound fan ever. Can you imagine? You can't compete with that. It's impossible. Like, if I try to tell him that I'm like a Earthbound fan now, he would be like, "Really? You started liking Earthbound, bro?" I always liked it, but we played like RPG Maker 95 and stuff like that. But I don't know, like, I knew the appeal with Earthbound. It's just I was more into like soldiers and knights and stuff like that. Vampires. I was more into robots and whatnot. He was more into like, I don't know, he really liked Dragon Quest was also really like a strange game. Like, it's really medieval but modern at the same time. Like, the way that they made the game, good humor in it, different than Final Fantasy. I was the biggest Lufia 2 fan ever, and Breath of Fire 1, and Bomberman, and what else? Except Mega Man, of course, and Astro Boy, Sailor Moon. Suikoden. When I got my hands on Suikoden 1, it was obvious. Also Chrono Cross, like, he was the biggest Chrono Trigger fan, and I wasn't. I really liked it though, but I remember my older cousin wanted me to try Chrono Cross, and I just didn't want to. I was like 12 years old, I think, in like 7th grade. I was already playing like Breath of Fire 3 and stuff like that. Good games on the PlayStation 1, the ones I had, Saga Frontier 2, Breath of Fire 4, Final Fantasy 7, and he wanted me to play Chrono Cross, and I just didn't want to. And then one night, I went over his place, and he was a little less good than me, but he's a true fan too. Like, he has like a real pinball in his living room right now. I don't go visit him though. We don't really hang out. But so he had his file. He was a little further than me. But I started playing Chrono Cross, and he was inside, and I was outside in like his camper, his parents' camper. He had like his PlayStation set up there, and like I just remember walking inside with like an expression like heartbroken. And he was like, what's going on, man? I was like explaining to him like what I saw in like the beginning of the game. To him, like, it wasn't a big deal, but to me it was like I was trying to like process what I saw in that game, like at the beginning of Chrono Cross, when he goes through the portal. No spoiler alert. I felt so like, I don't know, it was similar to Breath of Fire 3, I guess, so, and Final Fantasy Tactics. So, and he instantly knew that I started freaking loving the game. More than he did, almost. Like, he was surprised, but he was happy at the same time that I was hooked. Like 21st minutes, like the Pasa Beach, and he was like, "You like it, right?" And I was like, "Dude." I remember I was like in 8th grade or something. We played all summer, like that. Final Fantasy 9, Suikoden. We played a lot of Heroes of Might and Magic. Anyways, Chrono Cross, one of my top 10 favorite games of all time. I prefer Chrono Trigger, but I'm not like, I don't want to like argue with people about which one I prefer. Because I have a very strong connection and memory with Chrono Trigger also. My neighbor had it, and like he didn't really care for that game. His parent bought it for him. It wasn't my age, it was a little older. And I went over at his place and I tried it in his living room. And I was like, what kind of game is that? I was like probably like 6 or 7, maybe 7 or 7.5, like 8 years old maybe, like in 3rd grade. I was really young. And like I didn't care. I didn't really felt like, oh, like I didn't know much at that point about like RPGs. I was a little too young. Because me, it was like Astro Boy, Mega Man, Sonic the Hedgehog, G.I. Joe, Godzilla, stuff like that. I was scared shitless of horror, yet couldn't keep away from it. But anyway, Chrono Trigger is superior, but Chrono Cross has like a very strong fan base too. People who love that game like know what's up. The soundtrack is very solid. It's like 3 characters in the battle, like Final Fantasy 8 and 7. Another game that I have is Tenchu. I played it a little. It's pretty fun, but it's different. It's like the modern Ninja Gaiden. He looks like Gilgamesh. God dang. I'm going to play Chrono Cross at some point before Chrono Trigger. Same with Breath of Fire. I know the order that I want to play them. It's tough. I remember I didn't go a normal, I went hard. It was worth it though. The ninja episode is cool in Pokemon anime. I was like into it. They're all good episodes. A movie that I really enjoyed, like not too long ago, was Karate Kid Legend. It was right after the last season of Cobra Kai. I really enjoyed that movie. I highly recommend it. If someone likes Cobra Kai and Karate Kid. I just bought a Sonic the Hedgehog poster earlier. That was a move that I always liked also. I just didn't do it a lot. Alright, let's change the music. I remember this level. I used to listen to the soundtrack all the time on WoW. Because I was always making like ninja characters with every other characters. In fact, I have one right now. I feel like playing Mega Man 9. Or maybe Mega Man X6 and unlock the blade armor. I never played for long. I got far in that game like in the past, but it seems like every time I have it, I don't want to play it. I think you can set the difficulty and I go too hard and it's just too hard. I should go at like normal, maybe or easy. It's a good game. It's like the last good one in the series. Debatable. Yeah. I try to do my best not to spoil when I'm talking, because I like being that way. I like not being someone who spoils. I don't like spoilers online. Like thumbnails that shows like the last boss or something, I just don't like that. It just annoys me. I close my eyes really quick, because like I like having a lot of good games to play. And not beating them too fast is not a problem. So I try not to spoil, but sometimes like when I say something, I realize that I talk about late content too quick, because they're the games from my childhood. It's just hard for someone like a viewer wouldn't know like which games I've beaten and which games I haven't beat. But that's another thing. Like it's how it is. The blood. There's blood. This isn't for kids. I'll start playing more fighting games also really because it's not in my bio, but I really like fighting games. They're really necessary or essential. And I like watching people, they play like, I prefer watching people play fighting games and side-scrollers more than RPGs. It depends though. Sometimes I like watching survival horror. I like watching something calm like Stardew Valley or like or classics also. The Mario World, something like that. I don't like watching someone play Turtles. Your taste can change sometimes. Like, I don't really like watching someone play WoW or something. I don't stream it either. Yeah, I had to, like, kind of nudge a little and climb on the wall. There's no wall to climb on, but there's, like, a ledge. Select ninjutsu. Jutsu of Ikajuzi. There was something there. Box. Machine gun, really? Whoa. I suppose the thing about Chrono, like I don't only like fuss over the RPGs that has a ton of characters, but it's a good formula if like let's say an RPG has a ton of characters, but and not a tactical RPG, also a turn-based or action RPG has a ton of characters, but they don't all stay. Like you encounter a lot of characters, kind of like, I don't know, maybe Phantasy Star. They don't all stay, but it's like Suikoden, it's like a unique, there's a lot of characters, of course. The next one would be Chrono Cross. There's so many characters. Octopath Traveler has a ton also, more than Final Fantasy. I like Octopath Traveler. You gotta enjoy what you play. Like, Final Fantasy VII is a perfect RPG. They have a ton of limits. There's a good amount of characters. What else? It's like Final Fantasy VIII. I was counting the characters in that game. There's a few that there's like, I guess it's kind of like a spoiler, but it's their old game. I mean, I don't know. There's like temporary characters in that game, not counting Seifer. You don't get his two friends with him. Like, you don't get his two friends anytime in the game. But Laguna has two friends also, Kiros and Ward. Those are three extra characters, I would say. I wouldn't count like Idia with a Game Shark. That doesn't like work like that. There's not many characters, but it's like there's a ton of characters still. Like there's a good amount of characters. I like that game. Final Fantasy VIII is really a really like fun game. Everything's cool. The weapons, everything. The music is great. The storyline is really badass. Like it's maybe a little less than Final Fantasy IX. That game gets really serious. It's one of my favorites. It's not as serious as Tactics, but some people, like true fans, don't consider like Tactics like an RPG. They're wrong, but it's their choice. They don't consider tactical RPGs like Shining Force and Fire Emblem like actual RPGs. They're RPGs, they're just not turn-based. Like, it's not for everyone, but and they made so many. Like I like Bahamut Lagoon, I like Vanguard Bandits, the Shining Force, all of them. Like Arc the Lad, all of them. Tactics Ogre Battle. Ogre Battle is not a tactical RPG though, but Tactics Ogre is in that series. And there's Oshigami, the Ruining Blue Earth, which is one of my favorites. There's Eternal High on the PlayStation 1, which is really, really odd. You level those kind of like those. They're not dolls. That's in Cartia. That's another one. In Eternal Eyes, you levels those kind of like monsters that there's. I googled it. There's so many possible evolution It's like a tactical RPG if you want, and there's like Pokemons in it basically. It's like in Lufia 2, there's a capsule monsters, which I was always fond of. The Suikoden and Tactics, I never played it. It's probably fun though. There's Onimusha Tactic, I never played it. It's not my style. But Final Fantasy Tactics is considered one of the greatest RPGs of all time. It's really serious. It's fun. Everything you want is in that game. It's short though, but there's a lot of content, so I mean, I feel like the people that I know that don't really fancy that game are forcing it. It's like I can read their thought. They're feeling, oh, I didn't play it growing up, like it's not my thing, so I'm gonna express not loving it. Well, you don't have to love it, but you could just like give it credit. Like just say I understand why you like it though. But it's hard for them since they've never played it. I mean, I wouldn't blame someone for not liking Tactics, but I mean, honestly, I really like Tactics over the Knights of Lotus also. I played it and I was playing the Fire Emblem ones on the Game Boy Advance and that and Shining Force all at the same time. That wasn't my first time playing those games though, but Shining Force 2 also. Man, what a good game. It's not as good, but it's up there. There's a little less characters than in the original. Shining Force 3 is pretty cool also. Bahamut Lagoon, the one I mentioned, like that's a gem. Like it's so fun. You control those baby dragons that grow up. That's one of the best games on the system for sure. And like one last one, I would think Brigandine is not bad. Brigandine is actually pretty good for what it is. It's different though. It's kind of ambitious. Disgaea also. People probably like Disgaea. And Sima, the enemy, on the Game Boy Advance. Advance Wars, people probably like that too. Metal Slug Tactics was just released also on the PS5. I have heard some good things about it. It seems good, but it depends like how you see it. There's like Live a Life also on the SNES, which was remastered. It's kind of like a mix of turn-based and strategic game. Yeah. I'm gonna play on the N64, I do think. I'm gonna get it out of the way. I don't think I'm gonna, since it's not Saturday, it was last night, I streamed a ton. I almost did like 4 streams. I was gonna do a last stream and I opened OBS and I was like, I should like go rest since I was going to do shopping today early. The store is closed kind of early. Anyway, I'm gonna play some 64, not sure what yet. This is gonna be on this stream. I forgot I could fit it in. I got some lemon water instead of tea. Very good for us. Better than caffeine, better than energy drink and soda. I had a soda earlier though, a diet Pepsi, just a little can. It was good. Try to stay away from those. I also had tea earlier, and I ate dinner kind of early. So I could cut the stream here and relax a moment and come back, but I'm gonna fit it in. So that way, maybe I'm gonna stream again later in like a few hours. I'm gonna play like maybe one of the Final Fantasies I'm already playing. I downloaded the Final Fantasy Anthology on the PlayStation, but I'm not gonna start yet new files. I'm gonna play something like what I'm tempted. Probably not DS, but probably maybe PSP. Either PSP or Game Boy Advance, Tactics Advance. I really like that game. It's addicting. Okay. The Lancastrians. Love this game. Pokemon Stadium 2 also, and Colosseum on the GameCube. I've never played this game. I made a custom thumbnail for it. It looks fun, but this is the game I was referring to. It's actually, I don't know why I actually like this game. It's fine. Like, it's probably because of the multiplayer mode. Same as Snowboard Kids 1 and 2. Better than 1080 and cool border. This game though, Super Robot Taisen 64, I would love playing this, but it's in Japanese. And the one on the PS1 also is, there's something about it. Yeah, I don't remember, or something. It's like I couldn't play either of those games. Like, there's one on the NES also, a tactical RPG on the NES, which is easily translated. Okay. New.
Choose your character.
Choose.
Pikachu.
Pikachu.
I have so many Pikachus in cards. I like having him or her in the games. Oh, you're gonna do something? Okay, he's not doing much. He was setting up. You can still call the CPU, but they're dang, there's a word, I can't find a word I want to say. They're powered by AI, that's what I want to say. The CPU are AI controlled.
Pikachu.
Let's go, Pikachu! I like Super Smash Bros. Brawl, but this one, I heard that it's not something that I played a lot of, but I heard that people love this version. The fans are unsure. They like this version also, what they really like. The true Super Smash fans are really like, they're easily convinced that they're sure they love this game too, because it's a really fun N64 game, honestly. If it doesn't lag, it's a multiplayer thing also, but the career mode is like cool because you can unlock characters. And the Fire Emblem one are not in this one. Okay, I want to play Super Mario RPG now. Why did I do this? Why did I get into this universe? I almost picked Kirby, but I knew like it would do something. Pick it up, Pikachu. Let's see. We're caught slipping. Game set. Ladies and gentlemen, Pikachu, Victor. Yeah, I used to use Fox a lot. Fox McCloud. I used to use him like, he was one of my favorite characters. probably because it's like very serious. I was always a Star Fox fan for real, but I like the old crew, not just seeing Fox. The old crew's dynamic really inspires me. No. That's like my weak point. Like I sometimes manage, but it depends. Like,
It's a meow.
like as soon as you start playing Super Smash Brothers, you want to play like a ton of game at once. At least me though. Like I feel like playing Zelda. I feel like playing Mario RPG. I feel like playing Superstar Saga. Superstar Saga is fun, but it's a bit limited. Paper Mario is better. It's another game that I think I owned at some point. I didn't own it for long though. I never owned Thousand Year Doors. I remember wanting Pokemon Gale of Darkness on the GameCube. I was really drawn to that game. I liked it. It was like past the time that I ordered stuff from eBay. Badass Pikachu. Keep it up. I know what I wanted to play on NES now, like G.I. Joe. That's what I wanted to play. Because I was talking about arcade, Metal Slug and stuff. The crowd's impressed there, Cloud. Yeah, not Cloud. Fox. Those bonus stages, I don't find them that fun. They're cool though. Never mind that one. I'm just gonna fall. No. Yeah. It's a GG. Luigi looks high. Look at him. He's probably like half awake, waiting for supper. He knew a Super Mario Galaxy movie coming out, which will be pretty soon. That's gonna be interesting. Alright, I'm lagging. I'm just gonna finish this battle and call it here. Just because I would play it a little more, but because I know it's exciting to watch sometimes. Watch someone play one of your games, the games that you like. But I may also consider getting I will do like a estoppel for myself, which games would I start playing between two games that are actually modern, because I was thinking about doing it. I'm gonna also empty my laptop so that it lags less, and I'm not gonna give away which games I'm talking about, but they're games that I like, so, and they're modern, and it's not Minecraft. Okay, so I'm gonna call it here. Probably gonna eat some vegetable or fruits and a little snack, I don't know, some celery with cheese whiz on it. Very good, I recommend it. So yeah.